I'm kind of ready to change my life. A new year is coming up. It is actually not related to it whatsoever, but I do have to say I am loving the energy on YouTube right now. I'm getting suggested all of these rebrand videos and just people want a fresh start, want to change. To be honest, I don't really care if anyone stuck with their if anyone here on YouTube will stuck with it. I don't care. I'm just like fully at this moment taking advantage of the energy of what I'm seeing out there, and I will tell you why I'm doing this, and maybe you will be able to relate to this because this probably is a little bit more common than I realized. So today is actually December 23rd, but all of this basically started for me mentally really 1 month ago, but it was an accumulation probably the last 2 years. A little bit of a backstory. I am Czech, but my partner is French, and something over 2 years ago we moved to Portugal. Such a busy season of our life. We both work remotely. We had so much work constantly on our plate that there was even a moment when I was like, oh my god, it was our dream to move here, and we don't really take advantage of everything that's around us. People come here for holidays, and yet we don't really do the holidays activity that we were thinking so much that we would do. So that was like a first thought and first little bit of a slap in my face when I realized like, wow, we always say so much this, like, oh, but if I lived next to the sea, I would go swim every day or whatever, all of these types of things. But then when you're actually there, you realize that you didn't do it, and you're constantly in a rush to get to the next thing, to meet the next goal and all of that, and you don't actually get to enjoy the process. And this is something that over the past 2 years I was realizing slowly, but somehow this is really difficult to describe. I just was not ready to change. Now we're gonna move on to what happened on November 20th this year. It was my birthday, my 31st birthday, and I have never really in my life been a person who took birthday too seriously. I don't really care about celebrating. It just has never been a big deal for me. I know that for a lot of people it is a huge deal. It just wasn't for me. What I'm gonna talk about right now is not so much about celebration. It's not about the age or any of that. I turned 31, and as I said, not expecting any big celebration, not really caring, but we have this tradition with my partner that we always take the closest weekend to the birthday and we just enjoy the time together. It's not about presents, it's about doing something together, just very intentional. And what happened was that literally on the day of my birthday, he got extremely sick, but to a point where he just was not capable of leaving the bed. And so picture the scene, it was literally like from a movie, I'm not even kidding, where I ended up sitting alone on a couch. The weather was so bad that you couldn't really go even on a walk or just like enjoy yourself a little bit. It was when it really hit me, because it was not about connected to the age, it was more connected to, I feel like nothing has really changed since last year, and it was really like wake-up call, because as I said, it's already been 2 years since I'm realizing that I'm constantly like running after something, but I feel like I'm not really moving anywhere. But at the same time, and this I really don't know how to explain, how to really put it, because at this point, it was not about what I have reached or not reached. That's my thoughts more connected to the past. Now it was more about I'm not feeling any better, which made me feel so lonely, honestly. Honestly, it just made me feel so lonely because I'm like, what am I even doing with my life? So there were so many things that then came, but all of this led me to a place of I need change. I need a big change. I don't know when this came to me, but big thing for me always was that I wanted to find the right person. And I didn't realize that I had these thoughts, but somehow, I guess subconsciously in me, there was this idea of once I'm going to find my person, everything else will sort itself out. I don't know where these thoughts came from, but that's the thing, right? You realize that you can be in the best relationship with the best person, loving your life, but not being happy. No, not happy is not the thing. Not being fulfilled, but like not being happy or fulfilled with yourself, right? And this is so weird because I've been over, oh my god, the last 10 years on such a journey of everything connected to self growth, mindset, spirituality, self-acceptance. Oh my God, the self-acceptance and self-love, the journey of all of this combined that I have been on, where I necessarily don't struggle with certain things anymore, that I have changed in the past, the fact that I don't use any filters on socials, that I have no problem putting myself out on the socials. All of these things combined, all of the years of doing the things that before seemed like a huge deal, and now it's okay, right? Like now I don't have a problem with that. But I still realized that I was just not ready to overcome certain things. Now here came the time when I just became fed up with my own bullshit. Because with all of this, I realized that it's really so much just me holding myself back. It actually makes me feel quite emotional because I'm still a little bit in the thick of it, even though I managed to get over the biggest emotional part. To be honest, I had quite a breakdown. Like a really big one. I had one in front of my partner, another one in front of my dad, and a lot of things that I feel like it was also just trying to hold it together and thinking that I can hold it together, and then everything just seemed to crumble. If you have seen my last video, I was making a video about juicing. You can watch it after this one if you haven't seen it. But at the beginning of the video, I was mentioning the fact that I'm feeling that I really am craving a huge change. This video, I think, was filmed, 3 weeks ago. I was already hinting it there a little bit, but I really wanted to go deeper. One thing I have realized that I really need to work on is actually discipline. I don't know who said that. I have heard somebody saying that. I'm probably going to butcher it, but I have heard somebody saying that sometimes self-care means a bubble bath and a hair mask or face mask, and another time it means being really disciplined and waking up early. And I'm realizing that, first of all, I can relate to this so much and I love this. But also, I am right now in the season of being really disciplined, and yes, understanding my body and absolutely taking care of my body because I just love that. But mostly right now I'm realizing I really need to build the muscles of discipline and focus. I have become so all over the place. Literally, I have no better way how to call it. Like, probably I just don't have the vocabulary for that. But my brain has become so scattered and I just couldn't concentrate on anything. And that's where I feel like this whole frustration really came from, because there's so many things I'm trying to do, so many things I'm working on, and obviously nothing is really working the way how I want it to work. How I decided to implement a change, I don't know if you're familiar, but there's this book called 12-Week Year, where basically the whole idea is that when you want to set goals for yourself, or whether it is personal goals or let's say that even for a company it can be used, because if you're in this annual thinking, actually for most of the time we cannot really comprehend a full year, and basically we just make excuses most of the year and then we manage to finish everything in the last quarter. So the idea here is to be working in quarters, and I have my own approach to this, but oh my god, I already feel so many changes that are happening, and not necessarily yet that I would be getting insane result in my life or in my world, but how it actually helps me to calm my brain, how it helps me to come back to focus. And I realized that I don't know why, it's just so often right now that I just find myself that I want to speak these things out. I want to put it out there. I want to talk about it because I feel like it is so easy to fall into this place where you just feel like crap. I don't want to feel that way. I want to live a healthy, happy life. I want to feel fulfilled. And I also know it's just something I want to talk about, and I want to connect with people on the topic. So I will be diving more into that. If you want, I can show you inside of my 12-week year planner. We can talk about healthy habits that I'm implementing, and even just to give you the perspective what my lifestyle is right now. I want to take you along the journey. I want to understand also where you at, what maybe you are struggling with, where we can maybe meet and discuss and support each other. No matter if it is going to be 2025, rebrand yourself, become a new person, or whatever. For me, it's just like a coincidence of a timing, but wherever this is meeting you, just know that you're not alone. I feel like we are all messed up in a certain way, Anyway, this is gonna be my little corner of the internet. You're welcome to stay, you're welcome to subscribe and let me know where you're at. Really, I wanna know. Leave it in the comments. You can also find me on Instagram if you wanna message me. But hey, let's do it. Let's talk about how we can level up our life a little bit. Let's become a version of ourselves that we enjoy a little bit more.